welcome race fans and Angry Birds fans to the Air Raceway. This is going to be a 3-lap race following this road, the mats. Over here, there's going to be a jump over here. Going to do a little drift. Try and make it down here. Going to jump here. Going to climb up this really steep gradient and back to finish line right in that groove. So, like I said, this is going to be a 3-lap race rather than 2. And, yeah, in the first row we have Chuck and Terrence. In the second one we have the Blues and Corporal Pig. In the third we have Bubbles and Bomb. Bubbles is going to have the most advantage because his car is designed for huge jumps. Okay, we're going to the green. 3, 2, 1, and they're off. Woo! Look at them go. They're starting off on that slope. It's easy to slip, but they seem to have some grip on it. They're going to have to use their ability. Chuck speeds ahead and skids off a little bit and crashes to the bottom with Terrence nailing the jump and making it there. Bubbles is coming in and tries to drift around, is about to jump off, and he absolutely nails the jump as well, passing Terrence mid-air. It's down to Bomb 3. Bomb is speeding up, but the Blues are coming in behind. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Oh no, the Blues spin out Bomb. That causes them to crash too. Ooh, it just barely makes that jump. With Bomb trying to recover, Corporal Pig beats and makes it down to the next stage. Chuck is finally up and the cranes lift him up his back. Bomb has a lot to make up. He turns around and does the huge jump. He uses his ability and it launches him forward and is in front of the pack. Nice move. And really packed up. We'll see what happens. Bomb takes a jump, makes a jump, nails his drift. Let's see what happens here. Bubbles does an amazing jump, heads for a wall, hits the wall, does a little bounce, tries to make it, but just falls short. Terrence is up in the lead, but Chuck uses his speed boost, goes way above course, slams into a wall, has pretty much the same speed as Bubbles, but makes it on and makes it to the ground. Chuck saves it. The Blues use their first ability to make it to a jump. They're going to drift around, not a bad drift. It's down to Corporal Pig and Terrence. We'll see what happens. They both do a jump pretty good. And they both make it. Bomb is first to jump off besides Bubbles and Chuck. Does a pretty nice move there. But is still not in front of Chuck. It's these three next. The Blues heads down, but just falls short. Doesn't get enough speed. Tries to bounce off of Bubbles, but it doesn't work. Their car isn't looking so good. Terrence does a huge jump, thinks he's gonna make it, and then has a really rough entry, but still drifts around the segment of flat road and is side by side with Bomb. It's Corporal Pig next. Uses a boost. Well, not really, but he tries to go fast. Does another drift, more drift. And it's down to a 3. Bubbles and the Blues have finally recovered and are back in the race. Chuck is so far ahead, and we'll see what happens. It's turns come in, but it's just not enough to beat him. Bond comes in hot. He's doing really good. Well, and he's in. Corporal Pig comes next. We'll see what happens. Bubbles tries to keep up with the Blues, but it's just not enough. We'll see what happens next. I keep saying we'll see what happens next. We're coming into Speedway as Chuck tries to make it through. Just starts to fall short, but just makes it. And tips over here. Bomb is next. And just gets stuck. Rolls back and gets stuck. Bubbles overtakes the rest. I think it was a perfect timing. He uses his ability, rolls over everyone, and then turns back into normal. Bubbles has used his ability. All the erasers are wrecked. Bubbles tries to do a jump, then gets stuck, or Bomb is stuck. Bomb finally manages to get out. Trying to make it, uses all he can, and just beats Chuck into his second lap as Chuck finally recovers. And it's Bomb winning the second lap. Bubbles has recovered, but Terrence comes in quicker than usual. There's a huge jump. Bubbles spins on, goes right into a wall. Down to those three. Her Koreans finally got the Blues and they're good to go. Same for Corporal Pig. The Blues miss a ramp, have to do it again. Corporal Pig gets up, doing a little wheel spin here. Wheel slip. Gets on. The Blues finally come up and make it. It's down to Chuck, Terrence, and Bomb for a second lap. Chuck spins out, recovers it. Oh no, big crash. Half of the field is out. The Blues are coming into the second lap. And Bubbles finally recovers. He wipes out Purple Pig. This is one of the hardest parts in the track due to the track conditions being very slippery. Bubbles wipes out. The Blues use their ability. Very smart move. Just lands on the road. Turns his first to recover as he comes in. Just barely gets enough momentum and makes it on. The Chuck and Bomb are kind of having a fight. What does Bomb do? He uses his ability. Does a huge jump and makes in. Bomb had to pay some money for that ability. He was granted it. He didn't have to pay for it. He was just granted it for being in last. Corporal Pig speeds through, just make it on, then wipes out onto the entry. Bubbles is next. Very smooth jump. He has a little bit of an air control. Makes it land in ahead. Chuck comes in really fast. Corporal Pig finally, oh no, crash. Oh, huge crash. The Blues are first to enter in as they drift around, do a perfect jump, just barely make it onto the ledge as back here, so we're covering. Bubbles finally makes the jump, drifts around, and gets back in. Purple Pig is first to recover, quickly makes it. There's a quick jump, and it's down to 3 here. They're jumping on blues scare a bit those Bubbles. As they slip, Corporal Pig tries to get on. He uses his ability, throws a rock at the Bubbles, instant replay, and gets out. It really hit Bubbles hard. It might have hit the engine. So, it looks like Bubbles isn't doing so good. He might be out for the race. Terrence is coming in next. Jumps over. Bit of a hard landing. Doesn't make it. So he has to drift around and presumably avoid that. Chuck is next. But it's down to Bomb and Chuck as they make it for the straightaway. We'll see what happens. Bomb starts to lose control, but he makes it. His splitter is in critical condition, though. His downforce would be affected. Like it just kicked in right now. But he's still in it. He's still in the race. As we go into the next lap, he still could be in. Even though this is a worse track to have a splitter down because of all those huge jumps. Bubbles makes it out, but in bad condition for his car. Critical, actually. As they head into a third lap, Corporal Pig leads the pack with Bubbles and Bomb and Chuck. Here comes Bubbles. Terrence comes in, tries to bump everyone during move. Corporal Pig is first to make the steep gradient and makes it, damaging his splitter. This is a common track to damage splitters. Here comes Bubbles, but Bomb comes in, but his splitter is messing him up. He damages even more to a point where it practically falls off. So now it's better than before, but he's not going to have enough downforce. So he'll make those jumps okay, but he's going to have a hard time cornering. But he's still doing an absolutely amazing job. Terrence is in first, just makes up the slope with Chuck and the Blues behind. The Blues start to wipe out, but their three wheels kick in, and it's down to a final lap. The Blues kick in, Corporal Pig next, Chuck is in, so is Terrence, and finally, Bomb and Bubbles. Bomb slits out, his splitter is not doing good, but they're all back in, a little bit unsmooth. The Blues are first to make the jump. Use their speed boost as they just barely make it. Their suspension seems to be damaged. Oh no. They do some kind of barrel roll and land it. I mean, the Angry Birds Go Championship is all about crazy stunts, but what the Blues just did, it's not all about it, but it's full of it. But what the Blues just did was amazing. It's on to Bomb and Bubbles. His Bomb splitter faulty is kicking in and slams Bubbles to his side, but they're still in. Bubbles has taken a lot of damage and fails to make the jump and just crashes. There's a fire in Bubbles' car. Rescue teams are coming to him fast, but the show must go on. Terrence makes it through, and a huge crash by Chuck. He was flying out. Once again, rescue teams come in fast. Corporal Pig comes in, and we'll see what happens with only 4 racers remaining. We'll see what happens. Bomb comes in, jumps over the crashed car, makes a nice drift, caught up with the Blues. Terrence is next. Just make it jump just barely. And here comes Corporal Pig. Here are 4 racers in a perfect lineup. We heard the miraculous story that Chuck is okay. His car is in good condition. He's allowed to skip all those parts, but he still has to go around. Unfortunately for his car is up. He completely failed. The Blues are in. They make the jump, but Bomb is right behind. We'll see. Has to be a lot of turn. We'll see how Square does. Just makes it. The Blues recover from that. It's down to them. It looks like it's going to be one of them for the win, as we think it's going to be. These two make it. They're both in, and they just fall right behind. Chuck swerves around the corner and makes in. It's Bomb and the Blues for lead. It's gonna be one of them for the win. The Blues overtake Bomb as Bomb makes up. Bomb takes the turn hard, and it's close. It's Bomb for the win with the Blues in the back. Bomb wins the air raceway. Chuck is behind, and it's down to 3. And we'll see what happens here. Corporal Pig overtakes Chuck and makes it up. When Chuck comes in, gives him a boost right over, and comes 3rd. Corporal Pig tries to recover, but it's not enough because Terrence has come in and Terrence comes before. And that is the race. So Crane's rescue Bubbles, he's here, and we got the winners lined up. We'll see Bomb do his burnouts. Woo! He's really going. Wow, look at those. Woo! He's doing amazing burnouts. It's Terrence and back in. I'll show you point standings. Okay, so we got our points results. This is a previous race. 12 points for first, 10 for second, 8 for third, 4 for fourth, 2 for sixth, fifth, and 0 for sixth. So we got our standings with the Blues in first. Haven't moved up or down in positions with 22 points. Chuck, 18 points, just stayed the same. Bomb 12 points and moved up 3 positions. Terrence 6 points, has stayed the same. And Bubbles 4 points and has moved down 2 positions. That's the points. I hope you guys enjoyed this race, and I'll see you for the next race next week. Bye.